Stop letting society tell you about the best skincare routines, the hottest plastic surgeons, or the cream that will keep your skin from aging. It's time we start asking ourselves, what the fuck is beauty anyway? If we remove all the IG filters, is there more to a beautiful face than just skincare? Well, I'm here to share it with you, and hell yeah, there is. My name is Jen Carrasco. I have been an esthetician, as well as a high-level fitness competitor, and an all-around badass for over a decade. And I need you to know there is way more to keeping your mind and body clean than just a cream. Join me each week as I cut the BS out of getting healthy, caring for ourselves, and caring for our skin. I share real tips, real ingredients, and real experience. Now let's get some answers on what the fuck is beauty anyway. Welcome back, guys, to yet another fabulous podcast with me, Jen. Today, we are going to talk about sun exposure. The reason why is, especially right now, I'm sure you ask yourself, going in the sun, it's always nice to have that great tan and look, nice and tan as far as, our bodies always look better when they have some color on them, which is great, but there is also some downfall and other alternatives with that. And I really wanted to more or less go over the repercussions of getting some of that sun exposure. So I know a lot of times we don't really care too much when we're younger about issues with staying in the sun and having a sunburn and getting some freckles. But as we start to age, we start realizing those sunspots necessarily do not go away, or they actually will get worse in time. And then we start noticing more skin tags, more moles, a little bit more issues with our skin. And that's from our skin having the damage from the UVA and UVB rays. So I really wanted to go on here today and talk a little bit more to be more of an advocate for that younger age group. And there's things that we can do as we're older that can help with the repercussions of having that sun exposure. But I really wanted to go over the logistics of things. So I do have a lot of clients that come into my facility that are probably in the category of 30 and above. And I start noticing little skin cancer spots. And a lot of people ask questions of why do I have them and what can I do to prevent them? And there's a minuscule of things that you can do and a minuscule of things that you can do, at least in your younger ages, or even as a mom with a child, to help them to understand the repercussions of being out in the sun. So today we're going to really dive in deep with those. I have a lot of questions about spot pigmentation, but a lot of times I start to get in those clients with the superficial skin cancer cells. And when they come in, they just say to me, hey, I have this little red spot and it scabs over, it never goes away, it bleeds a little bit, can you fix it? And people need to realize that that little spot that keeps scabbing over and doesn't heal properly is actually a form of skin cancer on the skin that we actually have to cauterize, burn off, or peel off. So those are the repercussions that we deal with when we get into age 30 and above, when we have that sun exposure. So if this really pertains to you, this is definitely a podcast that you really want to listen to, just to understand what you're putting your skin at risk every single day. So let's talk about the dark side of the sun. Sun exposure can promote more of an aging process as well as skin cancer process. When sunlight reaches the surface, it is formed with 3 different radiation types. The first one is infrared radiation. That is what gives sunlight its warmth. Visible light, which helps us see. Then there is UV light. And UV light is a type of radiation that we cannot feel or see. When it comes to the damaging effects of sunlight, UVA is the main culprit. There are 2 types of UV radiation that hits us on the surface, and that is UVA and UVB. Those 2 UVs can damage the skin, but slightly in different ways. Out of both of them, UVB is the most damaging form. UVB causes sunburns and skin cancer forms. So UV light radiates off of the skin surface, and the skin surface is your epidermal surface. Now, UVB actually will go through your skin surface. With penetrating through the skin surface, it goes into your dermis layer, which is like your bottom layers of the skin. Now, with hitting that, it reacts with your skin cells and causes DNA damage. Our skin cells are able to repair the DNA damage, but with enough hits over time, our DNA starts to form skin cancer cells. In the epidermis and the bottom layers, we have cells called melanocytes. Melanocytes are what produces the pigment. So when that pigment is formed, it's your body's sunscreen. It's your body's way of protecting the skin from more sun damage. So a skin tan is actually a sign of your skin having sun damage. It is a cursor that the body is trying to repair itself for further UV exposure. In a sunburn, the skin suffers so much UV damage that it starts to peel and flake off and die. Within the death of the cell, which is the peeling that you get, it will trigger inflammation in the body. Now, UVA rays can also promote the skin cancer cells as well, but mostly the UVA is your aging factors. UVA is able to penetrate deeper than the UVB rays, and that's what causes the aging process underneath the cells where the collagen and the elastin are formed. So the UVA is what causes the wrinkling and the sagging in the skin area. Now, I want to go back that we all know that sunlight is not bad news. We need a certain amount of sunlight for our vitamin D in our skin. So my rundown today is UV sunlight can be good in moderation. So question for you is, how do you protect yourself from the UVA and UVB? And it's pretty much coming down to what you put on your skin. And if you go back to one of my last podcasts of going over UVA and UVB radiation, it will dive in deep about what you need to do topically for your skin to prepare it. Well, I hope this helped you guys out. It's a little quick dive into why our body forms what it forms. So just know that the nice little pigment spots that you start to get as you get older, that is your body's way of protecting itself from the sun. The melanocytes produce the melanin, and that melanin, which is the darker pigment, is acting as a barrier to protect the sun from damaging your skin any longer. So I hope this helps, and I will see you guys on the next podcast. Thanks for tuning in this week. I hope you feel more empowered and more inspired to love the skin you're in. As we navigate new society norms and beauty daily, make sure to always ask yourself, what the fuck is beauty to me? And know that's all that really matters. If you love this content today, make sure to subscribe, rate, and review. Follow me and get more info on my guest at virago.studio. Yes, I said it, virago.studio. And that's the shit. See you on the next episode, beauties.